Teisha with Shalom TV's News Update. The IDF spokesperson's office confirmed that Israel Air Force aircraft struck a terror cell that was preparing to launch rockets into Israel from the Gaza Strip today. The strike came after 2 rockets were fired into southern Israel from Gaza earlier this morning, landing in the Eshkol Regional Council. More than 130 rockets have been fired into Israel's southern region from Gaza since Monday. The Jewish Federations of North America and the Rabbinical Assembly of America have denounced Israel Chief Rabbi Shlomo Amar's criticism of the Israeli government's decision to pay the salaries of some non-Orthodox rabbis. Amar called earlier this week for the Chief Rabbinic Council to convene to try and reverse the recent decision that gives state salaries to non-Orthodox rabbis in regional councils and farming communities. Amar referred to those rabbis as uprooters and destroyers of Judaism, whose sole intention is to do harm to the holiness of Torah. Amar said it was necessary to be strong and steadfast in the fight against such sabotage. JFNA President and CEO Jerry Silverman condemned the comments, issuing a statement saying that they only serve to alienate our fellow Jews from our religion, our people, and the Jewish state. The Rabbinical Assembly's Executive Vice President Rabbi Julie Schoenfeld and RA President Rabbi Jerry Skolnick issued a statement as well that referenced the assassination of Israel's Prime Minister Yitzhak Rabin in 1995, saying the Talmud teaches that hateful speech has the potential to kill, further saying Rabbi Amar's language places all Jewish people at risk of violence. Israeli Knesset member of Habayit HaYehudi, or the Jewish Home Party, Zvulun Orlev, said yesterday that it is a mitzvah, a good deed, to serve in the IDF. Arutz Sheva reported that Orlev spoke at a study day of graduates of pre-military academies and said, "As a person who observes the Torah and mitzvot, a graduate of a Hesder yeshiva, I am riled by the use of the mitzvah of studying Torah as an excuse for judging the mitzvah of serving in the IDF." Adding, "He who studies Torah and observes mitzvot should and must know, observe, and carry out the select mitzvah of defending the existence of the Jewish state." Orlev's comments come amidst struggles to find a solution to the now defunct Tal law, which exempted ultra-Orthodox from military service in Israel. Orlev is a decorated war hero who received the Medal of Distinguished Service in the Yom Kippur War. World Jewish Congress President Ronald Lauder published an open letter last week in the Wall Street Journal and the Jerusalem Post, in which he publicly called on Palestinian leader Mahmoud Abbas to sit at the negotiating table with Israel with no preconditions, saying neither the Israelis nor the Palestinians nor any of us who seek peace in the region can afford further delay. The director of Jewish outreach for the New York Republican State Committee resigned from his post after holding it for just over a week, over allegations of ties to an anti-Zionist ultra-Orthodox group. Yossi Gestetner quit after it was revealed that he did publicity work for True Torah Jews against Zionism. There were also reports of Gestetner advocating for some controversial positions held by the ultra-Orthodox community, specifically regarding the handling of sexual abuse cases. Gestetner dismissed the report, but did say that his advocacy for fair and balanced treatment of the ultra-Orthodox, as well as his vocal opposition to former New York City Democratic Councilman Simcha Felder, had all become a distraction to the state committee, and therefore he chose to step down. The JTA reports that National Director of the Anti-Defamation League, Abraham Foxman, spoke out against business magnate Russell Simmons for likening Foxman to Nation of Islam leader Louis Farrakhan. Simmons, the co-founder of Def Jam Recordings, who's attending the Israeli presidential conference in Jerusalem this week, said that just as Farrakhan had alienated Jews, Foxman had alienated African Americans. Foxman, also attending the conference, said, "What's disappointing is that someone who has a history of having a blind spot to one of the most vociferous and ugly anti-Semites would be given a platform in Jerusalem. And what's outrageous is how divisive and ugly his attack on us was. And finally, what's shocking is that his colleague and partner, Mark Schneier, stood by in silence." Schneier, who together with Simmons was representing the Foundation for Ethnic Understanding, told the JTA that Simmons was speaking in jest and that Simmons is one of the greatest friends of the Jewish people. Foxman has publicly praised Simmons for his outreach work between African Americans and Jews, but also has criticized him for his praise of Farrakhan, who has likened Judaism to a gutter religion. And finally, according to a new study conducted by the Central Conference of American Rabbis, the principal organization of Reform rabbis in the U.S. and Canada, female Reform rabbis are paid significantly less than their male counterparts, up to $43,000 less, according to the study of rabbinic compensation by gender. CCAR's President Rabbi Jonathan Stein said the results were troubling, though not surprising, adding that, "For me personally, it was disappointing to see that the gap still exists," noting that since 1928, the CCAR has been advocating equal pay for equal work. And that's Shalom TV's News Update. I'm Teisha Bader.